Oakland. Look at look at him. This piece of shit is actually crying. Look at him. Breonna Taylor. It's up to the rest of us, normal, sane, law-abiding individuals who don't support criminals and aren't out here protesting and rioting every time a criminal gets killed. It's up to the rest of us to ensure that those idiot criminals and supporters of criminals don't get what they want. If they got what they want, I think you all know what would happen. So let me just recap this real quick and just give my opinion. But I wanted to show you these videos just so you would see what individuals were out there talking about. And of course, they're only talking to these idiots. They're not talking to normal people who are tired of seeing criminals destroy our cities, tired of seeing losers get propped up as heroes like Breonna Taylor. Yeah, let's put her in O Magazine. Let's put her on a bunch of billboards. Let's give George Floyd 57 funerals. Gold casket. He's getting better treatment than Bader Ginsburg. He's getting better treatment than presidents would get. George Floyd, baby. Now let's keep it narrow to Breonna. And this is one clip. I actually couldn't find this. It was a really funny one because it kind of demonstrates where these individuals come from. There was a girl and she's like, emotions, right? Emotions over facts. Oh, they weren't even supposed to be there. They weren't even supposed to be there. Speaking of the police, that's all she had to say. Granted, it was a short segment. Maybe she had more to say, but that's her argument. And so when that came on the TV earlier, or whatever video I was watching it with the missus, I was telling her, I was like, that's the problem that you have with this segment of our society. What is it? 10%, 20% of people in our society. You can't even begin to have a debate. We're not even talking about trying to shift their logic or trying to help them see things. We're saying you can't even have the debate because they refuse to acknowledge facts. They refuse. You could show them, just like the Rittenhouse video. You could show them the Rittenhouse video. They would still say, oh, he's a white supreme, right? You can show people these facts. They're gone. They're too far gone. And there's too many of them. The problem going forward is kind of like with the way the media whips people up. We know how they get kind of indoctrinated and trained or molded on college campuses to be this way, to be this dumb. How does it change going forward? How do we kind of draw things back to where we can help people see facts? Not saying they're going to agree with me on everything. Not saying I'm going to agree with them on everything. Not that I'm right on everything myself. But how do you help people take emotion out of it and acknowledge actual facts? They keep talking about, oh, she was sleeping in her bed. And we're just going over the general facts that we know. Sleeping in her bed, not true. That the police were unannounced. We found out that wasn't true. We found out that there were witnesses that heard them yelling, police. Why did the Louisville Police Department even settle with the family? That just emboldens people because even in spite of what happened yesterday with the charges from the grand jury, or lack of charges for the most part, you're going to have individuals say, oh, well, they paid out $12 million. That must have been hush money. It must have been bribe money. Why keep paying this money out? Why wouldn't they have waited until after this grand jury came out? With the lack of charges or failing to find charges against 2 of the officers and 3 directly. Why would they pay this money out? You're just encouraging these people. The boyfriend, why hasn't he been charged? I'm not going to sit here and act like he knew or didn't know what he heard at the door. I really want to play it safe and assume that he didn't hear. That he heard the banging, sure, got up, grabbed the gun. I really don't want to believe that somebody would be so stupid, especially the guy. Like, he seems like he doesn't have any kind of criminal history or anything about him, to where he would just fire through a closed door. I don't want to believe that's the case. A mistake happens, and he made a big one. And because of it, his girlfriend died. It's because of his actions that she's dead. It's because of him opening fire on police first that she's dead. So why are we not talking about that side of the story? Why is he not being charged? I'm not saying I would vote to convict, but felony murder, would it apply? Opening fire on an officer, obviously that's going to be a hard case to prove because he could just say, oh, well, I didn't know they were cops. He opened fire on police, she ends up dead. Tell me he's going to at least be charged with something. Again, not saying as a jury member I would vote to convict because I'd have to hear all of the evidence. You can tell these people all of these things. You can lay out the fact pattern for them. And the reality is that you can never even begin the conversation because once you try to hit them with facts, then they're going to hit you with, oh, you're an ism, you're an ist, you're a supremacist, any kind of name in the book that they can throw at you to get away from having the actual conversation. I really feel bad for individuals like that because they're too far gone. I really think these individuals are too far gone, and they seem to be multiplying by the day, and we can't bring them back. Once they tip over the edge of that insanity, of that delusion, we can't bring them back. I don't know if any of you have any solutions because this is a huge problem. All of these people out here getting warped by media, their politicians are pushing it. Like I said, celebrities, see it in movies pushing these fake narratives. I don't know. I'm sitting here trying to think of an answer and trying to imagine a society where we get back to some more civility, more fact-based and less emotionally driven society. Because I don't see any other way that this doesn't get worse if there isn't some kind of ability for all of us to have some kind of discourse where you could just help people understand the facts. They may not like the facts, but to at least understand the facts and to stop being out here pretending. You saw the guy earlier pretending like it's still 1865, like nothing's changed. He's acting like his 50 years of life. He really believes in his mind. How is it that he does believe that? How is it that he got to that point where he believes he's still a slave? What is going on? How did he get that way? Who told him that? Does it start early in the home? Are parents kind of continuing the cycle of this? And I didn't even get into the whole allegation of her holding the drug money per the ex that they have him on the jail phone line, saying that she's holding his money. I didn't even get into that. And they're going to sit here and act like she's some hero? Painting murals of her? Like I said, billboards? Putting her in magazines? And all they ever claim is the same thing. Oh, we're going to be out here doing this until we get what we want. Well, let's hope that there's enough of us that keep fighting against their ridiculousness. Let me finish it up with this, though. Kind of tie this up together. It's getting kind of long, but there's only a few types of people I see out there that are out there doing this. Protest is cool. We love that. But once it gets dark, and it gets dark, we know what comes out at nighttime. Nothing good, right? There's only a few type of people out there, in my opinion, that are on the side of this. Speaking specifically of the rioting and a terrorist organization like Black Lives Matter itself. Criminals, number one. They've got the criminal demographic locked up. Definitely BLM has that. Black supremacists, maybe white supremacists as well, because they seem to want the same thing, segregation, right? And those individuals who support criminals. So it's criminals, supremacists of any type, and those who support criminals. Why would anybody else support this organization? Absolutely, we support the fact that all lives matter. We always say that. We know that. We don't have to be told that. But to support an organization that's done billions of dollars in damage to this country over the past few months, and to have politicians not call it out, to have media and celebrity go along with it, it's cool, this is for George Floyd. Criminals, supremacists, and those who support the criminals. Those are the only individuals that I can see that support this kind of stuff. And like I said, it's kind of disheartening. I still say fuck them because they're pathetic, and I'm never going to change. I'm never going to bow down for this, even if they're in my face. I'm never going to throw up my little commie fist for them. And Breonna Taylor. Never going to happen. But, like I said, getting back to it, how do we help bring more individuals under the tent of normalcy? I'm all for pushing the crazies aside. We can try to have that dialogue and bring some back in. If it's possible, I think it's a lost cause for a lot of these young people. It's hard to admit you're wrong, even in the face of clear facts. But how do we work to bring some individuals back into the tent and expand the tent to where we can subdue these animals before they keep doing more damage and killing more people in the name of losers like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor? All right, everybody. That's all I've got. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a good day. Okay, look at him.